Today, we're going to talk about a plant that's been wildly misunderstood for decades, but honestly, is now making a massive comeback. We're diving into the huge potential of hemp.
So, let me just start with a question for you. What if one of the world's most misunderstood plants
Was also one of its most useful? Yeah, that's the strange reality we're exploring today.
So this right here, this is hemp. And believe me, it has an incredible story to tell. One filled with confusion, suppression, and now, finally, a really powerful resurgence.
All right, let's start with the first piece of the puzzle, why people are calling hemp a misunderstood miracle crop.
You know, that term miracle crop isn't just some catchy marketing phrase. It's because almost every single part of this plant, we're talking the stalks, the seeds, the leaves, even the roots, can be used for something. As our source material points out, wasting any of it just isn't an option. It's basically efficiency in plant form. Okay, so to really get what hemp is all about, we have to tackle the biggest point of confusion head-on. Let's talk about hemp versus marijuana.
And this, right here, is where almost all the misunderstanding comes from. Botanically speaking, hemp and marijuana are the exact same species, Cannabis sativa. The difference isn't in how they look or grow, but what's inside them. It all comes down to chemistry, and that distinction is absolutely crucial.
This slide really breaks it down for us. Over on the left, you've got hemp, which is rich in CBD, that's cannabidiol, and on the right, marijuana, which is packed with THC. But look at the THC content. Hemp has less than 0.3%, while marijuana can have anywhere from 5 to over 30%. That tiny little number, it changes everything.
Less than 0.3%. Just let that number sink in for a second. This isn't just some random detail. It's the legal and scientific line in the sand that completely separates industrial hemp from its psychoactive cousin. So the bottom line is this. If you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this. You cannot get high from industrial hemp. The psychoactive stuff just isn't there in any meaningful amount. Period.
All right, now that we've cleared up the biggest misconception, we can get to the really exciting part. Let's look at hemp's environmental superpowers.
I mean, this plant is a true champion for the climate. First off, it just breathes in carbon dioxide, helping to clean our air. And get this, it actually heals damaged soil by pulling out toxins. It's a process called phytoremediation. On top of all that, when you compare it to thirsty crops like cotton, it needs way less water and pesticides. It's a win-win-win for the planet.
And check this out. If you want to make something like paper, trees can take decades to grow big enough. Hemp, on the other hand, can shoot up several meters tall in just a few months. That makes it an unbelievably fast and renewable resource.
So it's great for the environment, we get that. But what can we actually do with it? Well, let's explore why they call it a plant of 1,000 uses.
So what can we actually make with this so-called miracle crop? Well, the list is seriously impressive.
The applications are just amazing. Think about it. In construction, you get something called hempcrete, a fantastic building material that's a great insulator and is even fire resistant. For the planet, we can make bioplastics that actually break down naturally, helping us tackle the massive microplastic crisis. And for our closets, hemp fiber creates clothes that are not only super durable, but also naturally antibacterial.
Okay, this all sounds incredible, but how do we actually get there? Our final section takes a look at unlocking its full potential.
To really understand the path forward, let's look at a case study that our source material brings up, Japan.
See, traditionally, Japanese law was all about which part of the plant you used. Stems and seeds were fine, but leaves and flowers were a no-go. But that's starting to change. As this quote points out, experts are now pushing for a much more logical system, one where the entire plant can be used, just as long as that THC level stays safely below the 0.3% mark.
And this right here, this is the key. The global shift in thinking is moving away from regulating which part of the plant you're using and toward regulating the actual chemical content, the THC. It's a smart move from botany to chemistry, and it's what will unlock hemp's true industrial power.
Okay, so let's do a super quick recap of what we've covered. Number one, the most important point, hemp is not marijuana. The THC content is just way too low. 2, it's an environmental powerhouse that grows incredibly fast, cleans the air, and even heals the soil. And finally, its versatility is a total game changer for all sorts of industries, from building our homes to making our clothes.
So, it all comes down to this question. With everything we now know, is this incredibly versatile, eco-friendly plant a major key to solving some of our biggest modern environmental problems?
Based on the evidence, that's a question we really need to start taking seriously.